I'm Susan McPeters, and welcome to our first Life and Times of the new year. And we're definitely starting out the new year on a musical note. A Bettendorf woman is the owner of a most unusual piano. In fact, she's been told it's one of only 6 of its kind ever made. It's a double grand piano, 2 keyboards, 2 sets of strings, sharing a single soundboard. It was made by the Pleyel Piano Company in France in the 1890s. The company, founded in 1807 by a contemporary of Haydn's, describes itself on its website as an innovator in the design and manufacture of pianos. Innovative is certainly one word you could use to describe this piano. The double grand piano was acquired by Thea Leclair and her husband Colonel Nelson Joe Leclair when he was stationed in Paris from 1947 to 1949. They had rented an apartment from a couple they became close friends with, Betty and Bert Imms, who also owned a piano store.
2 weeks before we were going to leave, he said, "Oh, I've got something stored at the Pleyel factory that I think you should have." And then he proceeded to tell us about the piano that was 8 feet long and had 2 sets of keyboards, and nothing more was said. And then just, well, maybe it's less than a week, we were with him again, and he said, "Joe, you haven't made me an offer for that piano." So Joe spit out a figure, and he said, "You bought yourself a piano, and I'll pick you up tomorrow and take you out the factory and see what you bought."
She doesn't know why it was just stored in a warehouse, and she's never told anyone what her husband paid for it.
We stole it, really did. And it's, but they visited us, Bert and Betty Imms, when we were stationed in Paris. They came to see it, or when we were living in Washington, D.C. They came from Paris and visited us twice. So they saw that it was being used and enjoyed.
She actually didn't see it until they moved to Washington, D.C.
Well, I didn't think so much about myself. I wondered what the neighbors thought, because it came on an 18-wheeler, and it was, well, the crating is twice as large as the piano. So when it was loaded in front of our house, and we hadn't been living there too long, matter of months, and then the neighbors, when they finally saw that it was a piano being taken in, it was exciting.
The piano weighs 1 ton. The legs and the pedals can be removed, making it a little lighter and easier to move, though it still takes a half-dozen men to carry it. From Washington, they were transferred to the Arsenal, with the movers saying the piano actually saved the day.
When we unloaded it at quarters 2 at the Rock Island Arsenal, he said, "We are so thankful for your piano, because going down the mountains in Virginia, my brakes on the truck went out, and we had no way of stopping the truck, and your piano weighs a ton," and that was on the inside, so it got to the bottom and held my truck up, so it saved my truck and your furniture.
It's been in her Bettendorf home since her husband retired from the military in 1955. The piano is 8 feet long, so despite its size, it takes up less space than if you had 2 grand pianos, as you normally would to play music written for up to 8 hands. The strings from the 2 separate keyboards crisscross, although you really need to see the piano to understand how it works.
I had visited with Thea Leclair, and she told me about this piano, and I was fascinated with her description of it. I had never seen or heard one before, so I was excited to come to Thea's house and get a chance to play it.
It's enjoyable, and it's a really unique experience, so it's a lot of fun.
The big difference here comes with the sustaining pedal, and the fact that if you raise up your sustaining pedal so that your strings ring, it affects the ringing of the strings from the other keyboard as well. That creates a different kind of sound that you have to be aware of as you're working. The sound can actually be a muddy kind of effect if you've got your pedal raised so that you've got strings sustaining pitches that should no longer be in the chord. That it wouldn't matter if you were playing a keyboard by yourself, but when you're playing a duo keyboard like this one, you have to be very aware of that.
And if one person is playing it and wants a larger sound for that final chord, well, you can pull a handle and press a pedal that lifts the dampers from the other set of strings, so they also vibrate. The piano survived a fire. One night during a dinner party, several candles lit on top of it burned all the way down into the wood.
We did work almost an hour trying to get the wax off of the sounding board with spatulas after it had happened, while it was not too dry.
The piece that had burned was removed and replaced. Over the years, the piano has been played at numerous gatherings that she has hosted at her home, including a meeting for piano tuners.
I expected 7 and 14 came. When they heard about this piano, they came from all over, from Dixon and Galesburg and Peoria, because they had never heard of such a thing.
By the way, while she would not perform for us, she still plays.
Well, I come in just about every morning and sit and play and sing, because I do singing. In fact, 5 years ago, I did a Twilight musical at the Asbury Church, and they're after me to do it again. And you see, 5 years, you know that's, after 5 years, you know how old I am.
She once contacted the Smithsonian about leaving the piano to them, but received a letter back saying that they don't have the room. So she just hopes that wherever this piano's next home is, it will continue to be played, enjoyed, and appreciated for the unique instrument that it is.